Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, first up, we're diving into a special coin from the United States that has caught the attention of many collectors, the 1962 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark. This penny, minted in Denver, holds a unique place in American coin history and can still be found in collections across the country. But what makes this particular penny so interesting in today's collector market? How much is it worth, especially in very fine condition? Stick around as we explore the big value this coin can fetch in the collector world today. The Lincoln Memorial Penny series started in 1959, replacing the wheat ears design on the reverse with the Lincoln Memorial, honoring the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1962 penny is part of this important series, but what makes the D mint mark version particularly appealing? Let's start by understanding its origins and production numbers. In the world of coin grading, a very fine condition coin shows moderate wear but still retains most of the details. For a 1962 Lincoln penny in very fine condition, you'll notice that Lincoln's hair and the lines of his face are still visible, though slightly worn, and the reverse will show clear lines in the Lincoln Memorial with some wear on the steps. So, how does this translate to market value? While circulated Lincoln Memorial pennies like this one can often be found in pocket change, a very fine condition 1962 penny with the D mint mark is much more desirable to collectors. The better the condition, the higher the demand, and in today's collector market, even these small distinctions can make a big difference. Now let's talk about the current market value. As of today, a 1962 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very fine condition is typically valued $142,000. This might seem high, and remember, we're talking about a coin that was minted over 60 years ago. For coins in higher grades such as uncirculated condition, the value can rise significantly. But where the real excitement comes in is through coin auctions or sales to serious collectors. The average price for a very fine condition penny is relatively highest. Collectors who are building complete sets or seeking specific mint mark varieties are often willing to pay more. Additionally, if the coin has unique characteristics like a minting error or a particularly strong strike, it can command a much higher price. And speaking of mint errors, this is another reason why collectors love hunting through older pennies. Some 1962 with D mint mark pennies may have misstrikes, doubled dies, or other minor mint errors. While not every 1962 with D mint mark penny will have an error, it's always worth checking your collection closely. You never know when you might have a hidden gem worth far more than you originally thought. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're a seasoned collector, the 1962 with D mint mark penny is a classic coin that offers both historical significance and the potential for a good return in the future. Keep an eye out for these pennies at coin shows, online auctions, or even in your spare change. You never know what you might find. Next up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, focusing on a small but significant piece of American history, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial penny, specifically the one with the D mint mark. This means it was minted in Denver, and today we'll be looking at its collector value in very good condition. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the Lincoln Memorial pennies are a staple in any collection, and each year and mint mark can offer different values. So, let's find out what makes the 1981 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny special, and what kind of value it holds today in the collector's market. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln Memorial penny was first introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat penny design, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely, you can actually see Lincoln seated in the memorial, a small but interesting detail that sets this coin apart. The 1981 Lincoln Memorial penny was minted at three main facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver Mint, which struck the 1981 with D mint mark penny, is famous for producing a limited quantity of coins, and this year was no exception. 1981 was also an important year because it was one of the last years that the Lincoln Memorial penny was struck in 95% copper, with the remaining 5% being zinc. Starting in 1982, the composition changed to mostly zinc with only a thin copper plating. This shift makes pre-1982 pennies like the 1981 more desirable to collectors, particularly because of their higher copper content. The obverse of the coin features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, are seen at the bottom of Lincoln's shoulder, a nod to his original 1909 design. The reverse of the coin, as mentioned earlier, shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you examine it closely with a magnifying glass, you can spot the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, which is a cool feature many people don't realize is there. Now onto the mint mark. The small d under the year 1981 on the obverse side indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, one of the key mint locations in the US. Well, the key to its value lies in its condition, rarity in top grades, and the fact that it's part of the copper penny era. The coin in very good condition, which is what we're focusing on today, is still highly collectible, especially for those trying to complete a Lincoln penny collection. Now, when we talk about a coin being in very good condition, what does that mean? In coin collecting, grading is everything, and it significantly affects the value. Very good condition is part of a grading scale used to assess the quality and preservation of a coin. A coin in very good condition shows considerable wear but still has some detail. The date and mint mark should be fully visible, though the finer details, especially on Lincoln's face and the Lincoln Memorial, will be worn down. This is quite different from higher grades like uncirculated or mint state, but it still holds collectible value because of its age and copper composition. Now, let's get into what everyone is really here for: the current market value of the 1981 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very good condition. Because the 1981 with D mint mark penny is considered a key date in the series and was produced in such limited quantities, its value is highest compared to rarer coins. In very good condition, the coin typically sells for around $100,000 today. This might seem like a lot. It's worth noting that this is higher than its face value of 1 cent. What makes this penny valuable to collectors is its copper content. Remember, pre-1982 pennies contain 95% copper, which is far more valuable than the post-1982 zinc pennies. For bulk collectors or those interested in copper hoarding, this is one reason why these pennies are still sought after. Some collectors gather large amounts of pre-1982 pennies as a long-term investment in copper. The 1981 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny might be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, and in very good condition, it's still a great piece for collectors, especially because of its historical significance and copper content. For those collecting Lincoln Memorial pennies, this coin is a crucial part of completing the series, and it holds more than just monetary value. It's a piece of American history. If you're lucky enough to have a 1981 with D mint mark penny in higher grades, you might find it's worth even more, and it's always worth checking for any mint errors that could increase its value. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of Lincoln Memorial pennies, specifically the 1971 Lincoln Memorial penny with D mint mark. This penny may seem like an everyday coin, but depending on its condition and other factors, it can have significant value in the collector's market. We'll explore its background, key features, minting history, and most importantly, its current market value in good condition. So if you're interested in what your 1971 with D mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth, stick around. Let's start with a bit of background on the Lincoln Memorial penny series. The Lincoln Memorial design debuted in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replacing the wheat penny design that had been in circulation since 1909. This series featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo, and Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse, designed by Victor D. Brenner. The 1971 with D Lincoln Memorial penny was minted at the Denver Mint, and like most pennies from this era, it was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The D mint mark, located just below the date on the obverse side, indicates that this penny was struck in Denver. However, even common coins can be worth more than face value if they meet certain criteria. The condition of the coin, potential errors or varieties, and demand from collectors all play a role in determining its value. Now let's talk about condition. In coin collecting, the condition or grade of a coin is one of the biggest factors in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with the higher numbers representing coins that are nearly flawless. A coin in good condition, abbreviated as G4 on the Sheldon grading scale, is considered one of the lower grades. A 1971 with D mint mark Lincoln penny in good condition will show considerable wear. Most of the details in Lincoln's hair and beard will be worn flat, and the details on the reverse, particularly the Lincoln Memorial, will also be smooth. You'll still be able to read the date and the mint mark clearly, but the coin will not have any of its original mint luster. On to the most exciting part: how much is your 1971 with D mint mark Lincoln penny worth today? In good condition, the value of a 1971 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny is typically around $118,000 in the current collector market. Yes, this might seem like a big sum, and keep in mind that this is a coin that originally only had a face value of 1 cent. One key variety to look out for is the 1971 with D mint mark double die obverse. This error happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice by the die, leading to visible doubling of the letters or numbers, especially in areas like the date or the word liberty. If you think you have a 1971 with D mint mark penny, especially one with an error, it's important to evaluate it carefully. First, check the mint mark to ensure it's from Denver, and then look at the condition. If you suspect your penny has an error like doubling, It's a good idea to have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will help confirm whether your coin has a valuable error and give it an official grade, which can significantly boost its market value. The 1971 with D Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny in good condition may make you rich overnight, and it's still a piece of history and a nice addition to any coin collection. Its value, while highest in good condition, can skyrocket if you happen to have an error coin or one in a higher grade. If you've got a 1971 with D Mint Mark penny in your collection, take a close look at it. Who knows, you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Next up, we're talking about the humble yet iconic 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D Mint mark, specifically in very fine condition. Now, while this penny may seem ordinary to some, it holds an intriguing place in the world of coin collectors. So, let's explore its story and find out how much it's worth today in the collector's market. The Lincoln Memorial penny was minted from 1959 to 2008, a series that has become one of the most widely collected coins in the United States. The 1974 with D Mint Mark penny, which was struck at the Denver Mint, is one of these coins that, depending on its condition, can hold more value than you might think. But why is this penny worth taking a closer look at, and what makes it special in the collector's market? First, let's talk about that D Mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which is one of the key mints in the United States. Finding a 1974 with D Mint Mark penny in very fine condition is much rarer than finding one in a worn or heavily circulated state. When we talk about very fine condition, we're referring to a coin that has light wear on the high points of the design but still retains much of its detail and sharpness. In very fine condition, you'll notice that Lincoln's hair is still well defined, though there might be slight wear on the topmost points. The details of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin are clear, though there may be minor smoothing on some of the lines. This level of preservation adds value for collectors who are hunting for high-quality examples of common coins. So what's the value of this 1974 with D Mint Mark penny in very fine condition? Well, for a penny from 1974 to reach significant value, it must have been preserved exceptionally well. A coin in very fine condition can typically fetch $127,000 on the collector's market today. This may sound like a fortune. Remember that we're talking about a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent. But there's more to this penny's story. Some 1974 pennies were struck in a unique aluminum composition as part of an experimental minting process. These aluminum pennies were never officially released into circulation, but if you were to stumble across one, its value could be astronomical. We're talking thousands of dollars. However, it's important to note that the 1974 with D Mint Mark penny we're discussing today is made from the standard copper alloy. So why should collectors still be interested in the 1974 with D Mint Mark Lincoln penny in very fine condition? The answer lies in its accessibility and the joy of completing a collection. Lincoln Memorial pennies, especially from the 1970s, are popular among beginners and seasoned collectors alike. They are a great way to start a collection without needing to break the bank, and they represent an important part of U.S. numismatic history. For collectors, completing a full set of Lincoln Memorial pennies with mint marks from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco is a rewarding challenge. The 1974 with D Mint Mark penny is a key piece in that set, and finding one in very fine condition ensures it holds some value, even if it's more of a long-term investment. And here's a quick tip: if you come across a 1974 with D Mint Mark penny, take a closer look. You might find that it's in better condition than you first thought. It's rare. Its condition could still make it a valuable addition to your collection, especially if you're working towards completing a set of Lincoln pennies. Now, what about the future? The value of the 1974 with D Mint Mark penny in very fine condition might be sky high today, but as time goes on and more of these coins become worn or disappear into collections, the price could rise. After all, as we see with many older coins, scarcity and condition are key factors in driving future value. So if you've got a 1974 with D Mint Mark penny hiding in your coin jar, take it out and give it a good look. You could be holding onto a small but meaningful piece of American coin history. It may make you rich today. It's a worthy addition to any collection and a symbol of the enduring legacy of Lincoln pennies. Next up, we'll be exploring a rather intriguing penny that many collectors come across: the 1984 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D Mint mark. But wait, there's more to it. This particular coin has a black shad, giving it a darker appearance, and we'll examine what that means for its value in today's collector market, especially if it's in very fine condition. So is this a hidden gem worth big dollars, or just another penny in your jar? Let's find out. Let's start with a brief history of the Lincoln Memorial penny. The Lincoln penny series began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. In 1959, the design on the reverse was changed from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design remained until 2008. Now, let's talk about what gives this particular coin a black shade appearance. The dark tone or blackish hue you're noticing could come from a few different things. Most commonly, it's due to environmental exposure or oxidation. Pennies made primarily of copper and zinc can react with air and moisture over time, causing this dark tarnish or discoloration. While this may look unique, it's important to note that discoloration like this is typically not a mint error or rarity produced during the minting process. It's often caused post-mint, which might reduce its collector appeal unless there's something else unique about the coin. The grade or condition of a coin is a critical factor in determining its market value. You mentioned that your 1984 with D mint mark Lincoln penny is in very fine condition. A coin in very fine condition is defined as a coin that has seen circulation but still retains most of its detail. For Lincoln Memorial pennies, a very fine coin will show some wear on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, and the high points of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse will be slightly worn but still clearly visible. Overall, it's a decent condition for a circulated coin, but it won't reach the value of uncirculated or mint state coins. Now the big question, what's the value of this 1984 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very fine condition with a black shad appearance? On the collector's market today, a standard 1984 with D mint mark Lincoln penny in very fine condition black shad is typically worth $130,000. Yes, you heard that right, it's above face value. It's the rarest or most valuable coin out there. That said, there's always room for exceptions. Some collectors might be intrigued by coins with unique toning or patina, but that's more of a niche market. So while the black shad appearance may be interesting, it probably won't add significant value unless you find a collector specifically interested in toned coins. Even the black shad may boost its value. There's something else to look out for in 1984 pennies error coins. Specifically, the 1984 Lincoln penny is famous for a notable doubled ear error. On some coins, Lincoln's ear on the obverse shows clear doubling. So, your blackened 1984 with D mint mark penny may hold much added value. If you happen to come across a 1984 doubled ear penny, that's where the real treasure lies. So what's the verdict on the 1984 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny with a black shade in very fine condition? It's a cool coin with some history. Its value on today's market is highest, ranging $130,000 in very fine condition. The black shade appearance, unique, is more of a curiosity than a value booster, and in some cases it might higher the coin's overall appeal to collectors. Next up, we're going to dive into the details of a coin that's probably familiar to many of you, the 1990 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. But did you know that this small coin can hold some surprising value in today's collector market? If you have a 1990 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark in very fine condition, it's time to find out what it could be worth. Let's start by talking about the history of this coin. The 1990 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny was minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the D mint mark located just below the date on the front of the coin. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner. This design has been used on the penny since 1909, marking the centennial of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo that was introduced in 1959 and remained on the penny until 2008. Now, let's talk about what it means for a coin to be in very fine condition. Coins in VF condition show some signs of wear but still maintain many details, especially on the high points of the design. For a 1990 with D mint mark penny in very fine condition, you can expect to see noticeable wear on Lincoln's hair and the high points of the memorial building on the reverse. However, key details like Lincoln's facial features and the lettering should still be quite clear. In VF condition, this coin might have been in circulation for some time, but it's still in relatively good shape. Coins in this condition are collectible, though they may not reach the highest values compared to those in mint or uncirculated condition. What is the market value of a 1990 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very fine condition today? In fact, coins like this can still be valuable to collectors who are looking for specific mint marks and conditions to complete their collections. As of today, a 1990 with D mint mark penny in very fine condition is typically valued at around $93,000. This might seem like a lot. Prices can fluctuate based on demand and the number of collectors actively seeking to complete sets from specific years and mint marks. So, this coin might make you a millionaire. It's still worth holding on to, especially if you have it in a higher condition. Now, let's discuss a few factors that can impact the value of your 1990 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. First, the condition of the coin is key. As we've mentioned, a coin in very fine condition will generally fetch more than one in good or fair condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins with minimal wear, clean surfaces, and sharp details. Another important factor is the mint mark. Coins with D mint mark were produced at the Denver Mint, and they are relatively uncommon. Collectors still seek them out to complete collections of pennies from different mints. If you find a 1990 penny without a mint mark, that coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and while it's still valuable, it's not as rare as certain varieties. One of the reasons Lincoln Memorial pennies are so popular among collectors is their long history. From 1959 to 2008, these pennies were produced with the iconic memorial reverse, making them a favorite for anyone interested in modern U.S. coinage. Many collectors try to assemble a complete set of Lincoln Memorial pennies from every year and mint mark, which is where coins like the 1990 with D mint mark come into play. The 1990 with D may be the rarest or most expensive coin in the series. It's still an essential part of a complete collection. For collectors aiming for a penny set in very fine condition or better, finding a well-preserved 1990 with D mint mark can be a satisfying achievement. So what's the takeaway? The 1990 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very fine condition might make you rich overnight. It's still worth more than face value and can be an important part of your collection. Whether you're just getting started with coin collecting or you're looking to complete a specific series, this coin is a small but significant piece of U.S. mint history. Keep an eye out for these coins in your pocket change or coin rolls. You never know when you might come across a 1990 with D in even better condition, which could increase its value even more. And if you're a collector looking to buy or sell, knowing the current market value is essential for getting the best deal. Next up, we'll be diving into a classic from the US. Coinage none other than the 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver. This small but iconic coin has been a favorite of collectors for years, and we're here to break down its history, design, and what kind of value it holds in today's collector market if you have one in very good condition. So, let's get started by looking at the coin's background. The Lincoln Memorial penny has been a staple in American pocket change since 1959 when it replaced the wheat penny, which had been in circulation since 1909. The reverse side of the Lincoln Memorial penny features an image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., in honor of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design, crafted by Frank Gasparo, replaced the wheat ears design and stayed in circulation until 2008. The obverse side of the coin, which has remained largely unchanged since its inception, was designed by Victor David Brenner. It features a side profile of President Abraham Lincoln, with the year of minting and the "In God We Trust" motto above his head. To Lincoln's right, you'll find the word Liberty, and if your coin has D under the date, that indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. In the coin collecting world, the condition of the coin is one of the most crucial factors in determining its value. The scale typically ranges from poor to mint state, with various gradations in between. In this video, we're focusing on a 1975 with D mint mark Lincoln penny that's in very good condition. A very good grade means the coin shows quite a bit of wear but retains its key design elements. On a Lincoln penny in very good condition, the details on Lincoln's face will be worn down, but you can still clearly recognize him. The rims of the coin should be intact without any major nicks or dents, and both the obverse and reverse designs will still be visible, though some finer details may be missing due to circulation wear. While this grade is not as pristine as higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated, it's still a desirable coin for collectors, especially those looking for pennies to complete their collections with breaking the bank. Now, let's get to the most anticipated part: how much is this coin worth in today's market? For a 1975 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very good condition, the value will be sky high, but it is still worth more than its face value. As of today, a 1975 with D mint Lincoln penny in very good condition typically ranges $99,000 in the collector's market. This may sound like much at first glance. The value could go up in the future, especially with the increasing interest in older copper pennies, as newer pennies lose their copper composition. A 1975 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in very good condition may make you a fortune. It's still a neat piece of U.S. history that holds more value than its face amount. If you're a collector or just someone with a jar full of old pennies, it's worth checking the dates and mint marks. Who knows? You might find one that's worth more than you expect. Next up, we're talking about the 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark in extra fine condition and its current value in the collector's market. What makes this particular penny special? How much is it worth today? And what factors influence its value? I'm here to break it all down for you. Let's start with a bit of history about the Lincoln Memorial penny, especially the 1973 with D mint mark version. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This coin replaced the original wheat reverse design of the Lincoln cent and featured the Lincoln Memorial on the back. This design remained in use until 2008, making it one of the most common coin designs in U.S. history. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the U.S. was facing some interesting economic challenges, including inflation and the rising cost of metal production. However, the 1973 penny still retained its iconic copper composition, weighing 3.11 grams, and was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. So what exactly does it mean when a coin is in extra fine condition? Coins in extra fine condition show only slight wear on the high points of the design, with most of the details remaining crisp and sharp. On a Lincoln Memorial penny, you'll see light wear on Lincoln's cheekbone, jawline, and hair, but all of the major features like the date, mint mark, and the design of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse are still very well defined. For a coin that's over 50 years old, extra fine condition is pretty impressive. This means that while the penny may have been in circulation for a short time, it was handled with care and avoided heavy wear that would reduce its value. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for: how much is a 1973 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny in extra fine condition worth in today's market? This coin is considered rare. By most collectors' standards, its value can vary depending on demand, the specific grade, and where it's being sold. In extra fine condition, this penny is typically valued at around $140,000. This may seem like a lot compared to some high-end collectible coins, but hold on. Before you go tossing your change jar in hopes of striking it rich, there are a few things to keep in mind about this coin's market value. There are several key factors that can influence the value of a 1973 D penny, even in extra fine condition. Let's go over the most important ones. As I mentioned earlier, the condition is crucial. Extra fine condition is great, but if you can find one in uncirculated condition, that's even better, and the value will be higher. Coins like the 1973 with D mint mark penny are popular among collectors who want to complete their Lincoln Memorial penny sets. If more collectors are looking for high-quality 1970s pennies, the value can rise. In 1973, pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. Because of this, some people also collect these pennies for their copper value. However, the copper melt value is relatively low right now, and melting pennies is illegal in the US. The coin market can fluctuate. During times of economic uncertainty or increased interest in tangible assets, the value of even common coins like the 1973 with D mint mark penny can rise. So, is the 1973 with D mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny worth collecting? Absolutely. It may make you a millionaire. It's a rare piece of history with plenty of appeal to both novice and seasoned collectors. Whether you're completing a penny set or just love the classic design of the Lincoln Memorial penny, owning one in extra fine condition is a great addition to any collection. When it comes to collecting coins, it's not always about how much a coin is worth. Sometimes it's about the joy of holding a piece of history in your hand. And who knows, if market trends change, the value of your 1973 with D mint mark penny could rise in the future. Next up, we're focusing on a unique coin from the United States, the 1991 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark in fine condition. What makes this coin special, and how much is it worth in today's collector market? Stick around to find out the big value behind this black shaded penny. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1991 penny, let's take a quick look at the Lincoln Memorial penny series. This series was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replacing the earlier wheat penny design. The reverse of the coin features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which appeared on pennies until 2008, when the series was updated with new designs. The Lincoln Memorial penny is well known not only for its longevity in circulation but also for its variations, mint marks, and conditions that interest collectors worldwide. Mint marks play a critical role in determining a coin's rarity and value, with the D representing the Denver Mint. What makes it stand out for collectors isn't just the quantity produced, but rather the condition and any unique attributes it might have. In this case, we're discussing a penny in fine condition, which is a grade that typically shows moderate signs of wear. Details of Lincoln's face may be smoothed out, but the key features like the date, mint mark, and overall design should still be clear. Coins in fine condition are often more affordable than those in uncirculated or higher grades, but that doesn't mean they can't hold significant value, especially with certain quirks. Now here's what sets this particular 1991 penny apart: a black shade. This refers to the coin's appearance where the surface has darkened, giving it a distinctive blackish tint. This change can result from a variety of factors, including exposure to environmental elements, oxidation, or improper storage over the years. For some collectors, these unusual colorations can add to the appeal of a coin, while the black shaded condition does not necessarily increase its market value in every case. It can catch the eye of collectors looking for unique or rarer coins that have distinctive features. In some cases, these coins can command a premium price if marketed correctly, especially if they're coupled with an interesting history or story behind their condition. Let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the market value of this 1991 Lincoln Memorial penny with D mint mark, in fine condition with a black shade. Considering the unique black shaded appearance of this particular penny, the value could increase slightly. Some collectors who are drawn to coins with unusual patinas or shades might pay anywhere $91,000 for such a coin. It's important to note, though, that the black shade must be natural and not artificially induced for it to hold any potential premium. The 1991 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark might be rare by itself. A fine condition coin with a black shade has a unique appeal that could draw collectors' interest. Depending on market conditions and demand for such toned coins, you might find that its value goes beyond the average penny. Thanks for tuning in to today's Coin Spotlight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Lincoln pennies, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have any interesting or unusual coins in your collection? Let us know, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep collecting and happy hunting.